You might remember about 6 to 8 months ago, Roli announced a 49 key light up keyboard. And at that time, I thought, man, this keyboard is probably going to be the best new keyboard that I can get. The lights, the software that helps you learn music, the Airwave was also a add-on feature you could buy at that time. All of it just seemed like too good to be true. And so I thought, if I don't get this now, I may not ever get it again because they were doing an early bird discount. I think I was technically getting like $150 to $200 off. So I was like, all right, I got to get it. But then July came, and that's when I was supposed to receive my keyboard. And I kept thinking, it's going to come in the mail. I'm going to get a notification. I'll get a notification. And nothing happened. So I reached out to Roli, and Roli said, we've actually encountered some delays. And this was a red flag for me because Roli is a reputable company. So I was curious, why didn't I get an email saying that there were delays? And maybe I did, and it just got thrown into a spam folder, or the title was weird and I accidentally deleted it. But I didn't see anything on social media either. So it was just weird to me that they didn't notify me that I was going to get my keyboard 3 months later. So what should we do in situations like this when the gear that we've spent hundreds of dollars on is delayed and maybe not even coming out? But companies aren't going to say that. Companies need to make the money, and they're going to do what they can to try and get you the product, or at least get you a point where you're going to forget that you spent money and try to absolve themselves from having to give that money back to you. This in no way is trying to throw shade or harm at Roli, because again, I think Roli is a pretty solid company and they've made great products and their customer support was great. And here's why I would recommend Roli more than I would other companies in this situation. So in a situation where you have the ability to get a refund for delayed gear, that's 100% what I think you should do. You should try and get a refund, because if it's a Kickstarter, if it's a third-party company, if it's something you've already given money to, if they offer you a refund, you should take it, because there's no guarantee that if it's already been delayed, that that product's already going to come to life. It's so easy nowadays for some companies to make a prototype or even just make like 15 to 20 demo units, send them to influencers, and then say, look at this, you'll love it, you should buy it. It's pretty easy for people to do. But when it comes to mass production, sometimes there's a lot more errors, there's a lot more flaws, or maybe they just don't have the money to make it happen and they can't follow through on the orders that were already placed. Maybe the materials that were used to make the device went up in cost, or maybe there is a similar product that came out that kind of stole all the sales from this product. There's so many things that can happen that would make the creators of a device say, we probably can't deliver this. So if a company does offer to give you a refund, I think you should definitely take it. I took the offer of a refund from Roli because I had plans on how I wanted to use that keyboard in the coming months. And if I don't get it till October, I got to change all those plans. So for me, it didn't work out. It just wasn't worth it. So I don't hold any like grudge or bad blood or anything at all to Roli, because those are my own personal plans. In fact, I respect them a bit more because they were willing to offer me a refund. Now, the best situation that you can get into is if they don't offer you a refund, and if you don't know if they're going to follow through with the product, is if you can come up with some sort of compromise that's in the middle. And this is going to be something where maybe they refund you a portion of your initial payment and still guarantee that you're going to get your device, or something else in the meantime. Some companies might be able to do something where if they have other swag or other gear or something like that, that they'd say, we're sorry for the delay, we'll throw in like a keyboard case, or here's a Roli t-shirt, or something like that. And while that might not be like ideal because your product's still delayed, but you're going to either A, get some free stuff out of it, or B, you're going to be paying less for it. And if it's a MIDI controller or a product that you really, really want, then A, you'll probably be okay with waiting, or B, you're going to enjoy that stuff more while you wait. Because it's going to be up to that company to decide if they can do this or not. And if they're a legitimate, honest company, they'll either, offer you that full refund, or they want to do something to appease you so that they get good press. Again, this video is not like meant to throw shade at Roli at all. It's not even really intended to give them good press. It's just saying I liked how they operated. And I think that if you get in situations where you're iffy about a product that you've backed or that you've ordered, these are some options you can explore. So I think Roli handled this really well, but I know there's other MIDI controllers out there that just haven't worked well. For example, the AKT1. This is a video I made a while ago, and this MIDI controller is a chord generator, and it seemed like a really cool way to make chords. And it just hasn't come to light. There's been updates on the Kickstarter, on their website, but nothing's happening with it. And you can look in the comments for this video and see that multiple people have said, oh, I was excited for this, or this looks like a cool idea. But when they go to the website or they go to the product page, there's just no updates. And this is an example of how companies can kind of like leave you behind if you're trying to back something that they do. Now, if you are trying to get something that's off Kickstarter, that's a little bit different, because Kickstarter does kind of have some legality terms in there that say, if this doesn't get backed, if it doesn't go all the way through, you A, may not get your money back, and B, may not get any product at all. So you always run the risk of those things with Kickstarter. So no one wants those to fail, especially the people that are making it, because they're putting a lot of things on the line by doing a Kickstarter, including a lot of their own money. So with Kickstarter, you have some security nets, some safety nets, but it's not necessarily the best, because if it doesn't go through, then you're kind of out of luck. So if you did back a Kickstarter and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get my money on it, I don't know if it's going to get met, I don't know if the goals are going to get met, best thing you can do is, if there's 2 weeks left in the Kickstarter, share something about that Kickstarter like every single day. Do those promo videos for it, or talk to your friends about it, or find other people that are interested in it that could also contribute to it. Because the people that do those Kickstarters, they want them to succeed so they can bring something to life, but they need enough money to do so. And you want it to succeed, so you get the product that they're making. So Kickstarter oddly has like this symbiotic relationship with people that are backing it and the people that are making it. It's not necessarily just, I'm going to buy this and I get it. You have to support it on another level, which not a lot of people, I think, may realize until after they've experienced a Kickstarter that just didn't get backed. So in all those situations, though, it's a lot of the power is in our hands as consumers, because we're willing to give our money for something that these people are making, and we always want that to be a good product. We just have to make sure it's A, from a company that we're going to trust, B, there's some sort of policy for like refunds, returns, exchanges, and there's good communication with them, because that is key to all this. Roli had a really good communication with me once I reached out, but in the end, I'm happy that I was able to receive my full refund. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Roli keyboard was worth waiting for? Have you been in other situations where you feel like a company kind of took advantage of you, where you put money down and you never got your product? And was that something that happened through a Kickstarter? I hope not. Or outside of a Kickstarter, which I think is even worse. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.